Good evening, everyone. I want to call the meeting to order. Welcome. Let's stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, please. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Good evening and welcome. Thank you for coming out in this cold weather. I didn't think we'd see anybody, but I'm happy to see we do have some people here. All right, so we're going to start off with a few housekeeping items and then we'll move on from there. Let's start with the approval of the December 10th, 2024 minutes, if we could, please.
I'll make a motion, we approve the December 10th, 2024 minutes.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, motion carries. We're also going to do the receipt of the 2024 check register, please.
I'll make a motion, we receive the December 2024 check register.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Okay, I'll start with the mayor's report. What I'm going to do is I'm going to first swear in Mr. Donovan. That way, if you want to stay, you're more than welcome. If you're not, you're more than welcome to go do what you need to do. Okay? So if you'd step up here and we'll do this real quick.
I, William Donovan,
Do affirm that I will support the Constitution of the United States and I will be faithful and will bear true allegiance to the state of Maryland and will support the Constitution and laws thereof. And that I will, to the best of my skill and judgment, diligently and faithfully, without partiality or prejudice, execute the office of Board of Zoning Appeals member according to the Constitution and laws of the state.
I will.
Thank you. Congratulations.
Thank you.
I'm going to have you take this over to Kelly and sign it, and then
Okay.
we'll finish up. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay, I'm going to move on to the mayor's report. Okay, as many of you noticed, the Christmas trees are still sitting around with everything with the snow. Hughes had to make some changes, so they will be being picked up on Wednesday, January 15th. There'll be one pickup this year, so if you want it picked up, please have it out to the curb. Please remove all your decorations so that they will not take them if they don't. Somebody one time put it out with the tree stand, the decorations and everything, so please just put the tree out. However, so that's done. Trash recycling collection will be delayed until Thursday, January 16th, but the trees will still be collected on Wednesday. Water bills were mailed out December 30th, and they're due January 30th, so just keep that in mind. The office will be closed on January 20th. With all the freezing temps, all the town streets are snow emergency routes, so please, please do not park on the street if you hear it's going to snow. Unfortunately, they will be giving tickets, and if I recall, Chief, they're about $70 right now. Is that right? Yes. So fortunately, I think we only had to ticket one or two people, and they're nice enough to knock on the doors and everything else, but, I mean, that's not really their job to knock on the doors for everybody to move their cars, so we appreciate that. The Department of Public Works asked that we disconnect your garden hoses. Otherwise, you run the risk of the pipes freezing and bursting, and we don't need that. Just a reminder about the basketball nets that are in the street or hanging into the street. They must be moved when Hughes is collecting trash or during snow removal. The town won't be responsible or Hughes for anything that's damaged. Remember to help our firefighters and clear out around your hydrants if you would. When you're shoveling, please clear out around them. That's a big help. Charlotte B. Collette Memorial Scholarship is due by May 1st. Don't forget to pick up the application at Manchester Valley High School Guidance Office or at Town Hall on our website at www.manchestermd.gov. MML Scholarship is due by April 25th. The Carroll County chapter of the Maryland Municipal League offers 3 $1,000 scholarships. For more information, again, go to the Manchester website. A couple other things I wanted to mention. As always, our staff that work on our roads, I think our roads are clearer than any road in Carroll County, and I probably put it up against Baltimore County too. So they do a wonderful job, and Steve heading everything and being back is wonderful. Although we can't keep him forever, we're going to keep him as long as we can. I'm going to drag my feet on this. No, I'm not. I'm just kidding. But it was great. And I heard a lot of good things. I didn't hear one complaint, which is really, really nice. So I appreciate that. We are also going to be having elections, and our elections will be held May 20th of the 2025. So I appreciate anybody that comes out to vote. We're going to have 3 council members that are up for election, and I believe we're going to have 1 empty seat for sure. But whoever wants to run, please come get your application. They are due in before April 21st, I believe it is. And there's, some stipulations to it, but you can get on our website and take a look, and it'll tell you all the things that you have to do to qualify for that, and that would be great. So remember, nominations are Monday, April 7th, and election is Tuesday, April 20th. That was that. Let's see. I told you about the water bills. Just want to touch base and make sure I'm not missing anything. I think that's really it. If I think of anything else, I'll let you know. But everything seems to be going really well within the town. I haven't heard any complaints with the winter, which I think is great. I'm sure Steve will touch on anything with the water and pipes and all that good stuff. So without further ado, I will move on to the town administrator report. Please, Steve.
Okay, good evening, Mayor and Council, members of the community. We'll go ahead and start with the December 2024 administrative report. Under pending items, the wastewater treatment plant ENR upgrade, the 60% design package was delivered to the town on December 26th, and staff is currently reviewing. Also, currently the town is reapplying for the ENR grant through the Maryland Water Infrastructure Financing Administration, and this is due to the expected cost increase and the construction start date time frame. Under the PFAS project, the second draft of the request for proposal, the RFP for engineering services, was sent to MDE for review and currently awaiting their comments. The Manchester Elementary School ADA crosswalk project, the project continues to move forward. Currently, I'm soliciting vendors for installation proposals. The Antietam broadband fiber project, that's moving forward and is on schedule. And we have a meeting with their folks this Friday at 9, and they'll bring us up to speed. So I'll let the mayor and council know what the percentage completion is. The continuity of operations plan on December the 11th, I sent the company that wrote the plan staff's comments and concerns. They incorporated approximately 90% of our comments, and they considered the plan to be final. The Manchester East Stormwater Facility, the property owner and the county are currently negotiating a price for the property. The Main Street trees and sidewalks, the town did receive permission from DNR to trim 4 trees at the intersection of Holland Drive and Route 30, which was impeding sight distance for school buses. No movement on the Main Street crosswalk refurbishment project. Charlotte's Quest Nature Center, I'm waiting for their board to get back with me with some dates for a joint meeting between the mayor and council and their board. The Manchester Post Office lease agreement is still in negotiations. I copied the mayor and council on correspondence I sent to the local postmaster on December 11th. In regard to the conditions and the service, as of this time, I've received no response and the conditions have not changed. My next correspondence is to the regional postmaster in Baltimore. The Watershed Action Plan grant, there's been no movement on that. Under zoning, Equine Meadows, they plan on attending the February Plan and Zoning meeting for, I think, final approval. So, the Maverick One Solar Project, the grading started several weeks ago. That project is on the move. And under miscellaneous, the town has been contacted by Turning Point Energy in regards to leasing a portion of the property at the spray fields for a solar installation. I'll keep you all up to date on the progress on that. So, any questions on the administrative report?
Thank you.
Okay. I'll move into
Public Works.
Public Works. You have in front of you the monthly water and wastewater data report for December. Rodney has here noticed the water and sewer numbers are back to comfortable levels. Hopefully they'll stay that way in this cold weather. DPW staff training, they took multiple trainings throughout the month of December. Under water and wastewater, the York Street Water Tower rehab is 99% complete. The cell carriers are currently transferring their equipment back to the tower, and then the temporary tower goes away. PFAS mitigation project, I touched on that. The wastewater treatment plant ENR upgrade, I touched on that. The effluent pump station rehab, this was approved by you folks last month, and installation is expected in late February. The wastewater treatment plant headworks bar screen project, that was approved in March. That's to be installed tentatively March of 2025.
Bless you.
Under parks, maintenance, and facilities, and stormwater management, the Tot Lot Playground toy replacement at Crossroads is 90% complete. The storm drain rehab project, that's 100% complete. They finished up last week. The town asphalt rehab project is 100% complete. The F-750 dump truck to replace our 2007 International. Delivery is expected May of 2025. And we've had 6 winter events so far. And like you said, Mayor Smith, the folks do a fantastic job. So,
I agree.
and that's it. Any questions for me?
Thank you. Chief Hess?
Move into the police report. I'm going to do a year-end report instead of just a monthly report. So for our calendar year 2024, we ended the year handling 2,976 calls for service, 218 of which were for assisting Carroll County Sheriff's Office. In Hampstead, we only had a confirmed 19 crimes. So since 2013, we've reduced crime, violent crime, Part 1 crime by 93%. In the last 5 years, we've had a reduction of 63%. So when you look at total crime, the last 5 years, we reduced it by 57%, and since 2013, we reduced it by 73%. So
That's great.
That's good, and that's just not the police, it's the community, it's everybody involved. It's a lot of partnership with talking and just staying in touch with who's doing what. The LPRs have helped us a lot. Just to prove my point with Route 30, as I always called it, was a straightaway coming from Baltimore City, Vince, as you know, to Pennsylvania. Last, I think it was in November, I started to tell you about a car theft ring that we encountered coming up Route 30. It started on Millie Way, where we got a car and a trailer and a high-end stolen Camaro. Then we had an incident where Martin picked up on a stolen tag. He began to follow it. A second bad guy moved past behind him, started to follow him, and when they had to bail out, they were able to maneuver around and get the bad guy into that car and take off. So then we had another event where Zeb picked up on the exact same pattern. His turned out where they were able to stop the truck and the trailer, and then the other bad guy in the chase car couldn't get the bad guy in the truck, so he took off, and Baltimore City Foxtrot followed him to D.C. They lost him in D.C. So with all that going on, us recovering the stolen cars, we had a load of stolen car parts. We got the Regional Auto Theft Task Force involved. Baltimore County detectives, they came out, they started to help us. With the investigation that we initiated and what they picked up from, they tracked 3 stolen autos down at the Frederick Street Garage in Baltimore City. They were able to use, I'll just say, tactics, and we let them go. And the one car, because we knew it was linked to the crew, left Baltimore City, came up Route 30. They coordinated with Zeb and the sheriffs through Zeb. We let it go through town, went into Hanover, PA, and led them to a chop shop. Inside the chop shop was 6 more stolen cars, a lot of stolen equipment, and that investigation is still fluid. So with everything that we have, the case that we had with the one individual who's tied to the crew, Zeb's over the court commissioner's office getting a warrant for him for additional charges as we speak. So that's turning out, and the investigation's still going to continue. So unfortunately, Route 30, it is used a lot by the bad guys, but I got to tell you, this whole LPR system is a license plate reader. We're catching a lot of people coming through. I mean, the goal would be that they'll find another route and stay out of Manchester. So we're going to continue with that. Overdoses across the board, 31% decrease. Fatalities, we had almost a 50% decrease. It was 48%, which is great news. There was 0 heroin overdoses. It was either fentanyl or prescription drugs. They were the 2 high numbers. We had 0 heroin overdoses. So fentanyl's kind of taking the lead with that, as well as prescription drugs. Manchester ended the year at a 318 total. We had 3. So that's all good news.
Yeah.
So I guess I'm doing this right. I have one action item. My 11 years here, I never had an action item. I got an action item. So, no? All right.
What's the percentage? What percentage is that? No.
So anyway, most of you that were here, you remember back years ago, we started a program where we started to rotate the police cars to kind of stay ahead of costs and rotate them out. So now we have a couple cars that we want to sell. We have sold them in the past doing, what's that, a silent auction? Right. And I'll be frank, we lose money. Right. Because we have to strip the car. The car cannot go out of here with police equipment. We got to take the decals off. We got to take all the equipment out. And now that cost is creeping up to $1,500 to $2,000 to do. So it's kind of like you're losing money. You're never getting ahead. It's not that we're going to get a lot of money for the cars, but we found a way to at least double, if not triple, our money. So there's a couple organizations out there, businesses. They operate like Carvana, where they take the police car as is, they fix them up, and then they'll sell them to police departments, say out west or an Indian reservation or whatever it may be, and they sell them at a lower cost. But we don't have to pay for the cost to have it stripped out and have the decals removed. They do all that, and it's a secure thing. We checked it out. We found 2. One's out of Illinois. They're 5-star. So with your permission, if we move forward with that, we're going to try to give that a shot with our 2015 and see how that goes. And then if that goes good, we'll try 2 or 3 other cars.
Can we put is it a minimum bid or a minimum, we don't have to sell it if it's not the price we
Are you
want?
familiar with Carvana?
I mean, I don't know a lot
So
about
it's
it.
like CarMax.
Okay,
CarMax and Carvana, they're always competing against each other. It's all about what they have on their lot. So you put your information on there, they offer you, say, $26,000, whatever. They do the same with the police.
so you don't have to accept is my point.
No,
We're not
we don't
stuck
have
with-
to accept
Okay,
it.
okay,
We send it out, we see what they offer, we do it in comparison, and then we go from there.
okay.
So I guess it's an action item. Yeah, it is. So I'm asking your permission to move forward with that
So we'll
sale.
need a motion. Please. Two?
To start the process, yeah.
I'll make a motion that we start the process for the potential sale of the 2015
Ford Explorer.
Ford Explorer.
I'll second the motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay,
That's
good
it.
to go.
Congratulations.
Perfect.
It started a little rocky, but you did it.
You got somewhere else to go? I thought you were good time. Do you
Chief,
wanna
is
do
that-
other thing?
I will, yep.
Okay, and then I'll tie into what, all right.
Chief, is that it? Are you,
I think Kelly's
do
done.
you want me to start that and then,
Sure.
okay, I have
On the
Carol
heels
here,
of
so,
his-
well, yeah, okay, so, our FY '25 budget amendment for the purchase, there's a situation that we're trying to purchase we're going to purchase a speed trailer, which does the tag reading and all, and I'll let you elaborate on that. We were fortunate enough that the police department has done very, very well with writing grants and getting the grants. The Chief does it, and Martin, and I'm not sure if everybody else pitches in, I'm not sure, but everybody that does it does a great job. We've gotten a lot of grants for a lot of things, which really helps. And they've written another grant, which we've gotten $25,000 towards this project. So that's really great, and then I'll let you explain the difference and how that's going to work. You and Kelly, if you'd like.
You want to go cost, and then I'll go with the.
Sure. So what we need to do is, because we received 25,000 of a total package of 51,000.
Hey, Cal.
Can you
Speak
hear
up
it?
just a little bit, yeah.
Yeah, sorry.
Sorry.
So the total package with the it's a combination, the LPR and a speed trailer, that we will be able to use not for police activity, but we may be able to use for
National Night Out
National
or
Out,
whatever,
or-
right?
And so forth. So the total package is a little under $51,000. And Martin was able to secure $25,000 for it. We want to get the remainder. So what I want to do with the budget is increase the revenue of the grants by 25, increase the capital outlay of 25, and then the money, the leftover money's taken from ARPA. When we decided not to go ahead with the logo, we had to pay a little bit for.
25,000 almost, right? Correct, for the, wasn't
Yes,
it? Yeah, so
we did
for
have
the
to pay a
logo.
little, we had to pay like 5
Okay, but-
for the stencil because it was already cut. But, you know, when we were talking, we thought that, you know, in the event of a water leak, when our guys are out on a water leak or sewer main, and we have to have police out there for their safety, that having the LPR there as well, when they explained what happens with it, it's instant, they get screenshots or what have you. And the thought was if we could, since we didn't do the logo, use that money for this and tie it into ARPA, and that is what we would like to do. He can give you more details
So
on the
so the
product. 'cause it's
speed
not
trailer,
something-
the way the speed trailer, it's also a message board. So our first place that we want to put it is somewhere down around the high school, coming into town. So if there's road work or whatever have you, we can put a message out. But it also is an LPR, it'll read license plates, and it communicates with all the officers up here, not just Manchester, it's Hampstead, the sheriff's office, the state police, everybody. So we'll have an idea what's going on, if there's a stolen car coming through, or somebody wanted for robbery or rape or whatever may happen.
It's instant too,
It's
correct?
instant.
Okay.
It'll set the alarms off on the computers inside the car, and the officers know to move in on the activity. But more importantly, it's also, it's a sign that we can, it's like our smaller sign, but it has a little bit more to it. And it'll be a speed sign, LPR, and a message board. And like Kelly said, we tried to go for the full boat, they only gave us 25,000. So we're gonna try to get the rest of it, or we are gonna take the rest of it out of the ARPA from saving money on the logo. And on the heels of that, just so you know, because I gotta give Martin a lot of credit. Since the end of '23, we've secured right around $164,000 in grants. Pretty much all our mandates, from body worn cameras, the car cameras, the IA Pro, the speed cameras, it's all been covered. So it's no expense to the town or the taxpayers, and we're kind of staying on top of it. Him and I have a system that we put in place, and so far, we haven't been told no yet, knock on wood.
That's great.
And in that also is monies for DUI, or occupant protection, there's speed, oh my goodness, I think school bus.
School bus, yeah.
Whatever infringement.
I mean, a lot of people
So-
don't know, the town gets zero money for us writing tickets.
Correct.
We get absolutely no revenue. It goes into general fund for the state. So then we try to get our money back through grants, through state aid, and everything that comes with that. But as far as writing tickets, it actually costs us money because we got to pay the overtime when they go to court.
Kelly, what did you mean you got money for DUI? DUI enforcement, overtime,
Yes,
what? What's that mean?
Overtime,
Yeah,
yes,
so what
special
happens,
patrol.
There's traffic
Okay.
enforcement grants. Covers DUI, covers a variety of things.
Got it.
Click it, ticket, all that kind of stuff.
Seatbelt, which
Kelly, did these ARPA funds, do they have to be spent this year, or is this the same?
correct. They needed to be encumbered, and at December 31st, we had encumbered it for the logo.
Right.
In complete clarity, tomorrow I will have part of my audit for what's called a single audit, and that's when we received federal funds in excess of 750,000, which of course we received 4 million. So when we have spent the money, I have to get a separate audit that's different from my regular audit, and I'm meeting with the auditor tomorrow to go over, the procurement and so forth. The one thing with the speed trailer is, we're supposed to get competitive bids unless it is what we'll call sole source. And Maryland State Police is like, in order to tie all this together, it needs to be this vendor. And we learned that a little bit the hard way.
So Maryland Watch only deals with one vendor, and it's because they found out the other vendors, like Motorola, were selling the data, and we don't want to be part of that.
Right.
So they put the clamps down, there's laws that go with it, and that's just the way it is. So there's only a couple vendors that we can actually get an LPR from, because there's strict laws that go with it. I mean, I think every session in Annapolis, somebody tries to shut LPRs down.
So, wonderful. I think it's great about the grants. I'm on board with this. I think we can just make a motion, and let's get it approved and get things going, if you guys would like to do that.
I'll make a motion that we amend the budget amendment, approve budget amendment FY 25 for the LPR speed trailer package in the amount of $51,000. We increase the police grants revenue by $25,000 and police capital outlay for a portion of the equipment while taking the remaining $26,000 expense from the water ARPA funds since the York Street Tower logo was deleted. Does that cover it?
I'll second the motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, motion carries. All right, we're going to move on to the next thing, the sale of municipal parking lot behind Spargo's. We own this parking lot, and Steve can elaborate more on it, but really, it's just, it's not used for anything for us. I mean, it's just a parking lot that has a few times had a few problems, and we really were not using it, so we thought, well, if we can get the money for it and sell it, we'll do that. So we had it appraised. We ended up being able to sell it for more than what it appraised for, an unofficial appraisal, I'll say. And if you want to elaborate on it, Steve, I don't know how much we want to elaborate, but
As you said, Mayor, it was surveyed back in November. It's about a little bit less than a quarter of an acre. I made contact with 3 adjoining property owners, and Mr. Rahadwa, owner of Spargo's property, showed interest in the property. He did submit a letter of intent to purchase the property. And as you said, Mayor, it's lack of use and liability are the main reasons for possibly selling the property.
and he's going to pay all the fees. We're not going to be responsible, which is great.
Yes, he's going to
Okay.
pay all the fees. This is just the beginning. We need the council's approval to move forward on this. There probably will have to be a,
Ordinance, maybe?
not ordinance,
I think it was an ordinance. when we
ordinance, yeah,
did
it was an ordinance.
The sheets.
So that'll come back to you next month, so this is just the beginning of the process. So,
All right.
so I guess we're asking for a motion of approval to sell the municipal parking lot behind Spargo's.
I can make a motion to sell the municipal parking lot behind Spargo's.
I'll second.
Just to be clear, I think there's just a little confusion. Somebody asked me about this. It's not the parking lot behind the firehouse, next to our old building. It is not that parking lot. It's behind
Right.
Spargo's, kind of near the
Between the
roadway.
church.
Yes, just so everybody knows, so there was no confusion on that. Somebody asked me about that, and they said, why are you selling that parking lot? I said, we're not selling that it's not that parking lot. It's a parking lot that you probably don't even know we own. So it's just,
Right, it's,
it'll work out.
it's
So
only 21 spaces, it's very seldom used,
we don't use it at all. It's really used between the church and Spargo's.
correct.
And for us to take care of it and maintain it and manage it, it's found out to be more of a problem than help to us. So I think it's a good idea. But again, if we can make a motion and vote on it, that would be great.
I can re-motion it, the possible sale, because
Does
it's,
he have to enter I guess my question was on that. Do we have to do anything about the price in the motion? Do we have to have anything about the price in the motion?
with the 25, they said the asking price.
Yeah, 25,000.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll make a motion for the sale of the municipal parking lot behind Spargo's for the asking price of $25,000.
I'll second the motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, motion carries. Thank you.
And I'll get our attorney to draw up the ordinance, and that'll be coming back to you folks next month.
Okay.
So,
Perfect, thank you. All right, do we have anybody from the community? Did anybody sign up? Anybody want to speak? Okay. All right, so let's do communications. Councilman Nazarod?
Just want to thank Mr. Miller for communicating that to the post office. Had some concerns and involves communication because it's mail. So, but thank you for communicating that to them. So, that's it.
Councilwoman Howe?
The meeting was canceled last night, so I don't have anything to report.
Councilwoman Miller is not here this evening. Councilman Michelli?
The North Carroll Business Alliance, their next meeting is this Thursday, the 16th at noon at Spargo's.
Thank you. Councilman Cuneo?
Plan and zoning did not meet in December. I have seen an agenda for next Tuesday, so we are meeting next week.
Okay, perfect. And I don't see any of our youth representatives here tonight, so we'll move on with that. And I appreciate everyone coming tonight. Can we have a motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second the motion.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone.